Hello friends, this is a continuation video of amplitude modulation. In my last video we were discussing about amplitude modulation and the mathematical expressions of AM. So this is the continuation video for that. So you refer to this particular image, so that shows the frequency domain representation of amplitude modulation, and this entire image is nothing but amplitude modulation with double sideband with full carrier. Okay, so here in x-axis we have frequency, in y-axis we have amplitude. So here this is an ideal case, so carrier amplitude A is nothing but 1, and the other frequency representations or frequency component representation, it takes the amplitude of k by 2. Okay, so here when I talk about AM frequency domain representation, there are three components it actually takes. So first component is your carrier frequency, and the second component is upper sideband, third component is lower sideband. Okay, so as we know, the message signal takes 2 times your frequency FM. Okay, so your entire bandwidth is going to be 2 times FC. Okay, so it is going to vary between 2 times FC, and your FC plus FM. Okay, carrier frequency plus your message frequency will become upper sideband, FC minus FM will become lower sideband. Okay, so if you keep on increasing your amplitude of upper and lower sideband, okay, that will become close to ideal modulation case. Okay, so this is the representation. This representation gives us frequency domain representation of your AM signal. Next, so AM power frequency spectrum. Okay, so the AM power frequency spectrum can be obtained by squaring the amplitude. Okay, it's a power frequency spectrum. Okay, so power, yes, we can square the amplitude, we can get RMS power, we already know this. Okay, so in x-axis we have power, again in y-axis we have frequency, we have three components of frequency. So by squaring the amplitude of the carrier, A square will become 1 square, it is nothing but 1, and upper sideband, so the upper sideband amplitude is k divided by 2, so it will become k square divided by 4. Lower sideband, it is k divided by 2 again, so that squaring this value will become k square divided by 4. So the total power of AM is nothing but the power taken to transmit upper sideband, power taken to transmit frequency component or carrier component, plus the power taken to transmit lower sideband. So it is nothing but a square plus k square divided by 4 plus k square divided by 4. Okay, so we all know a square is nothing but 1, so that this expression will reduce to 1 plus k square by 2. So the total power of AM can be written as 1 plus k square divided by 2. This expression gives you direct relationship between power and modulation index k. Next, so the AM signal is generated using a multiplier, I already told you. So we use a simple multiplier to multiply your message and your carrier signal. So all the information is carried in the amplitude of the carrier, and AM carrier signal has time varying envelope. So we already know, right, the envelope of your AM carrier is actually varying according to the time with reference to your message signal. That's why we call this the modulation scheme. So in a frequency domain, the AM wave are lower side frequency. So I am going to have three component as I already discussed. First component is FC minus FM, which is lower side frequency band, and the other component is FC, which is nothing but my carrier frequency, and upper sideband frequency is FC plus FM. Now, so there is an example given for AM modulation. So here in this diagram you can see I would like to transmit image, okay, using AM modulation. Okay, so there is a low frequency, so let us take a data. So the data is having a low frequency, so it is going to vary between 20 hertz to 15 kilohertz. So let us assume I am going to take 15 kilohertz as my maximum message frequency and 1.4 megahertz as my carrier frequency. Okay, so now what is going to be the spectrum? So let me read out this question. The information signal is usually not a single frequency but a range of frequency, that is nothing but frequency band. For this example, frequencies are from 20 Hz to 15 kHz. If we use a carrier of 1.4 MHz, what will be the AM spectrum? So the diagram shows the AM spectrum for this problem. So in the frequency domain, the AM waveform are lower frequency, and upper frequency and your carrier frequency. So this entire component is going to be the spectral component. Okay, so as I told you, the bandwidth will become 2 times your entire frequency range, that is 2 into 25k to 20 hertz. Okay, and so as we know, our upper cutoff frequencies or our upper sideband frequency is fc plus fm, and lower sideband frequency is fc minus fm. Since fc is 1.4 megahertz and my fm is 15 kilohertz, so you will get a 1.4 megahertz plus 15 kilohertz, it will become literally 1.415 megahertz. Lower cutoff frequency or lower sideband, this is nothing but 1.4 megahertz minus your 15 kilohertz, so that it will become around 1.385 hertz. Okay, so the as we know, the carrier frequency remains unchanged, so these three components are actually transmitted for a AM modulation scheme. Okay, this example shows us, right, what is the spectral representation of AM modulation. So this example will tell us how much frequency component is carried per AM signal as per the given example. So now we are going to discuss about modulation index of AM signal. See, one parameter that controls the modulation of AM signal is called as modulation index. It's a very important entity when it comes to unit 1. Okay, so any modulation scheme is controlled by modulation index. Okay, so for a sinusoidal message signal m of t here, what we are going to do is, for a basic message signal and for a basic carrier signal, if you use AM modulation, what will be our modulation index? This is what we are going to discuss in this particular slide. So for a sinusoidal message signal m of t, so we are representing m of t as AM cos 2 pi f m of t, and carrier signal is cos 2 pi fct. Okay, and the amplitude component of carrier is nothing but AC. Okay, so it will become AC cos 2 pi fct. So the modulated signal, or otherwise it is called as AM signal. So SAM of t is given by AC plus AM cos 2 pi fct, the whole component, into cos 2 pi fct. Okay, so this one we already discussed. So from this, your amplitude modulated signal will become AC of 1 plus k cos 2 pi fmt into cos 2 pi fct. Okay, so this parameter k is nothing but AM divided by AC, and instead of AM by AC I am replacing k. So this k is nothing but my modulation index, but in this example I have denoted m k, instead of k I have denoted as m, because in most of the books it is given as m. So the m is nothing but AM divided by AC. Okay, so this parameter controls the modulation. Okay, whether my modulation is ideal, whether my modulation is under modulation, or whether my modulation is over modulation. This is controlled by m, or it is controlled by this parameter. Okay, so the modulation index m is a measure that extent to which the carrier voltage can be varied, which is nothing but, so I have AM and I have AC. So to what extent I can able to vary my carrier amplitude, or up to what extent I can vary my message amplitude. Okay, so this fraction is going to tell us this. So when m is equal to 0, it means that no modulation. It is obvious, right? So if m is equal to 0, that means I don't have a carrier exist, right? Or I don't have a message amplitude exist. It means that there is no modulation is happening. So if you put AC as 0, there is no modulation is going to happen. Obviously your modulation will become 0. When m is equal to 1, I can say it is ideal modulation or 100% modulation. When m is equal to greater than 1, I will say it is a over modulation. We'll discuss about each one in our forthcoming slides. So now, modulation index of the AM signal is given as 1 in this case. Okay, so this diagram is an example for ideal modulation or 100% modulation, where you can see, right, your signal takes, or your carrier signal takes the peak amplitude of the carrier, and the peaks are at the peak amplitude and the turfs are at 0. Okay, which is touching the axis. If this is going to be my shape of the signal, then I can say then it is a 100% modulated signal, or the signal which is having modulation index 1. Okay, or this is called as ideal modulation scheme. The next one is called modulation. See, in this example we have a modulation index of 0.01, or it is approximately equal to 0. If the modulation index is